Hey, what's up, guys? How are y'all? Welcome back to the OS Rick Project, the only podcast that promises not to be one third of cutscenes. What are you guys, which I've been up to. Whether you guys are at work, on your way to work, or working out, thank you for listening, guys. I hope are doing well. What you been up to? How's y'all's week? Hope you guys had a great 4th of July. Um, Maybe you got the day off. Maybe you're able to barbecue. Maybe you're able to see some fireworks and just enjoy your day off from the Independence Day here in the United States or wherever you're listening. I hope you guys just had a good time. You know, whether for you it was just a Tuesday or maybe if you're here in the States and you had a holiday, able to enjoy it. And if not, I really feel for you guys. Truly, truly. I know how it is. Having to make ends meet, having to work, and especially now in this heat, it's really tough. It's really hot, and just in this labor market, it's rough out there, guys. But just remember that you got your hobbies, and you got your people around you, you got your family, and just think of the silver linings and what you do have, and enjoy that because it could always be worse, right? Anyways, guys, how are y'all? What you been up to? Hope everything is well in y'all's corner of the world. Sorry, well, not sorry, not sorry. I know last week was a little bit short, and I kind of wanted to go back into Final Fantasy 16 and tell you more about my experience with it because um, I was able to get a few days off last week, and during those days, guys, I'm telling you, I played a lot of Final Fantasy 16, Square Enix's latest mainline series in the final mainline game in the Final Fantasy series franchise. And I gotta say, guys, at first I was a little bit off. I wasn't too sure about it, and then I got the demo and I actually got to play it. And I will admit, guys, I feel like the cutscenes are a little too frequent for every little thing. Every time you do a quest, there's a cutscene. Every time you finish a quest, here's a cutscene. Every time you'll go into a new area, you'll take a few steps, and here comes another cutscene. And they are completely skippable, but I at least try to. I sometimes I feel like maybe they don't have to voice out everything. Maybe like the big ones, the big important like pivotal moments, or after completing a chapter or something. Maybe yeah, we'll have a cutscene there. But like for every quest, like maybe we just have just regular dialogue and read it and go because like I kind of want to get into the game. And where I feel that's some of the weakness of the game for me is the abundant nature of the cutscenes being everywhere. I feel this one of the strengths for sure is the combat. I have so much fun with the combat. I enjoy it very much. I love doing the combos. I love jumping up in the air or launching them and then following them right. Following them up there and just continue the combination and either doing a downward thrust or using Garuda's claw to pick them right back up towards me, or using another combo to teleport right back with them. I mean, or using a charge fireball to pop them back in the air, or charge sword attack to pop them up. That is very fun, and it adds layers to it when you have to start charging things and trying to like maximize your damage and everything. It's so much fun, and then the thing is, you have of course spoilers alert, guys. I just gained. By the way, guys, I'm 35 hours into the game, so if I didn't like it, I would have abandoned it a long time. I have no shame of abandoning a game if I'm not digging it. I.e., Jedi Survivor. I'm looking at you. Uh, but yeah, 35 hours into this game, and I'm not. And honestly, I had to put Street Fighter 6 in the backseat, to play Final Fantasy. And then last night when I tried to play Street Fighter, oh my god, I completely rusted over because I just been spending so much time with Final Fantasy. But what it does good is the combat, and I like it very much. And again, going back to the spoilers, just fast forward a couple seconds, guys. I just picked up the Bahamut. There was it. You guys ever played Final Fantasy? Which one was the one with Vaughn? They said the names were like Bahamut. Well, I just picked up Bahamut. I haven't tried them out. I just picked them up. So between using Phoenix, Garuda, Ifrit, Ramu, Titan, and now freaking Bakhmut. and I think there's two more slots. I think there's two more slots I'm gonna pick up along the way. If I'm just looking at the dial at the grid and how it works, it looks like there could be two more spots that could be filled in. I don't know. We'll see. Fingers crossed. Hopefully, I could get Odin. Odin will be badass. Odin was always been one of my favorite summons. But yeah, I mean, between all the different abilities that you get, you have like you have your basic abilities. Uh, Dodge, charging up a fireball, charging up an attack, a double jump, a taunt. You get the basic attacks, and then each icon has their own separate abilities, but you only have like two of them. But if you put enough points into it, not only would you upgrade it for it to have a better effect or more damage, you can also master them, and you can move them into allocate them into another icon's aspect. So let's just say I don't use Titan all that much. I use mostly the Titan ability just for the parries on boss attacks, and that parry is freaking godlike. When you nail that thing and you come in and start swinging him, hit him with the freaking JoJo's, that is dope. I love that part. But just the regular abilities from Titan, I really don't care. I mean, what I'm using from what am I using? Yeah, from Phoenix and from Garuda, I'm liking those a lot. So I mean, yeah, that's and I like when a game does that, where it makes all the abilities really good and situational at the same time, where you kind of want to explore with the new, you want to experiment the new abilities and try them out, and not always, and the game like kind of pushes you to try something different for different setups. Now, if you know you're gonna be doing a lot of trash, you might want to have these spells. If you're gonna start going to boss fights, you might want to try up this setup, or a combination of using abilities that have a lot of stagger to really weaken the stronger enemies, or it's just something that has high damage so you could clear out trash. So, and every time you want to respec, it's completely free, which I love because it gives you a chance to just explore and experiment and try out new abilities. But when it comes to Final Fantasy 16, guys, and you might have heard me say this before, and I'm sorry I'm saying this again, but it's not turn based, and 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 you know what, this one happens to work out, not being turn based, being more action based. It works out that way. It actually pays off. But that doesn't mean that I want to see the rest of the Final Fantasies follow the same suit. I mean, I still would like to have a turn-based Final Fantasy somewhere down the line. And honestly, but at the same time and the same breath, it's like there is still turn-based games out there. They just won't maybe have the Final Fantasy name attached to it. So it's something that I just I've been a fan of Square for a long time, and I know Final Fantasy has changed, and I'm not willing to change with it yet. But at least with the direction they've done with Final Fantasy 16, I do like it. I do have some critiques with it, and that's fine. Some people might think, Rick, you might say, Rick, you're overthinking it. Just skip the cutscenes if you're annoying you. And it's like I said, it's not like they annoy me. It's just they're just too often, and I do want to know what's going on. And so far, with the story that is going on, the actual core of the story, like I'm literally at the edge of my seat. I was like, holy crap! Don't, no way. I mean, that's fun. It's just I always say, and almost also even the side quests. And I've been doing the side quests too, guys. I've been doing the side quests and doing the monster hunts on the billboards. Those actually ain't too bad either, because you get rewarded quite handsomely. Not only do you get renown, which help you get some items to upgrade your abilities, you also get lots of resources to craft your items and upgrade your items, and you get a lot of just resources, gil. And another thing that I like too is that you're limited on the number of potions that you could carry. You have three slots to carry items. It could be either like tonics that increase your damage, uh, regular potions which do a okay amount of healing, high potions which do even better, other tonics that help you defend. You get elixirs that heal everything. So you get to pick and choose, and so you kind of have to be a little reserved on your healing and be careful. But the game at this point, guys, I've only died a handful of times, but that was when I was doing the non-mainline quest. When I was doing like the like A rank and S rank monster hunts, those tend to be a little bit more difficult, and I did die a couple of times there, but it wasn't so much where like it was impossible. It was like, okay, I had to watch, okay, watch out for this. Keep an eye for this. Make sure to avoid this part. You know, it wasn't like overly difficult. It wasn't like a Souls game. So it's not like you're trying to go up against Radon without any summons. You know what I'm talking about? I mean, it's not that it doesn't get that hard, okay? At least not in the mainline game. The only time it gets difficult, like I said, is the optional side quest. But of course you get some nice rewards. Um I do wish I mean, yes, you get to see the different weapons that you get when you upgrade your weapons. You get to see the different design. Of course, the armor still is the same, but that's always been kind of like Final Fantasy. You've always had the same character model, same armor. Um, I don't know if the elements. I'm pretty sure the elements don't make any difference in the game because as an icon of fire, so you're basically, you're basically an avatar for Ifrit or Phoenix. You have the powers, so you have a lot of flame spells, right? And then there'll be some times where you come across some bombs, which are the fire elementals. You guys see them. You guys know if you play Final Fantasy, you know what a bomb is, right? But you can still hit them like with your fire spells, and they still take damage. Which traditionally, when you hit those mofo's with fire, they just like absorb it or take zero damage. You know what I'm talking about? So like, I don't know the elements are taking up like I don't know if they have like maybe some like damage modifiers or not. Maybe if I use, I don't know, maybe a different element, maybe do more damage. And another thing too, there's no status effects. So no poison, confusion, mini frog, turn into stone, haste, slow, berserk. What else, guys? I mean, y'all know whatever Marlboro throws at you. They changed his name, by the way. I think it's like Morbo or something like that. It's not Marlboro. I guess you probably have to change it for the names. You don't want Big Tobacco come breathing down R.J. Reynolds breathing down your neck, right? Um, but overall, like I said, 35 hours into Final Fantasy 16, and I've been having a blast. Um, if you're looking for a turn-based JRPG, it's not there. But if you're looking for something that is more action-oriented, that has, because I think it's the same guy who did, I forget the name. I think it's the same guy who did, Jesus Christ, come on, come on, come on. I'm looking for the name for who did the combat. I don't have it here. But the same guy who did Devil May Cry Combat, he worked on this game. So if you like Devil May Cry 5 Combat, which is really fun, you're gonna get that here, and I like it. And the story has been fun too. I've been enjoying it. Again, it's just I just feel like the cutscenes are just a little bit too much, or and it's because I find myself, I don't have my phone with me, but I find myself like they're having dialogue going on, and I'm going through my phone, I'm like checking my Twitter. I look up. Oh, I'm back up. Okay. Or like I'm just like, all right, guys, I'm gonna go grab a drink, and like I'm letting the cutscene go while I'm grabbing water. But it's like the cutscenes, like just for like your regular quest. It's like I don't care, you know. Of course, the mainline cutscenes, the one that's actually progressing the story. Those are the ones where I actually sitting down like, oh, okay, I can't believe she did that. I can't believe she did that. One of those girls. Okay. But yeah, guys. If like I said, for turn based, it's not there, but the action part, it is there. And I would say if you're a fan, even if you're kind of like me, where you're kind of on the fence about it, and you do have access to a PlayStation 5, try the demo out. That will let you know how you feel about it. And yes, the combat at first is a little dry because it really wants to drill into you how fast the combat's going to be. So they start you off with one icon just so you can get familiar with the movement and the execution. And it's not until you get your other icon and your third icon and you're constantly shifting between all of them, hopefully by then you'll get a grasp of how the combat flows. So you'll start getting a shift, and you're just kind of you're memorizing what order you have your icons in and what abilities, and that's when it really just ramps up, and it takes the combat up to an 11, and it's really fun. And I've heard some other people, a lot of these other game journals, I use that term loosely, talking about how, what they say, this game's either super easy because, they have all the accessibility items on there, or, they don't like it because there's not enough diversity. It's like, no, shut up. Just shut up. Play the game. Okay, play the game, and don't try to virtue signal for what it is. Just enjoy the game for what it is, because I think that's where you really enjoy it, guys. And I get it, guys. I wanted to talk more about it in the last episode, but like I said, the time was running short. I didn't really get to like really flesh out my ideas. And of course, there's probably gonna be some more stuff that's gonna be coming up. But anyways, guys, let's talk about something very near and dear to my heart when it comes to fighting games, video games, which is fighting games. I ruined that for me. If you guys know that already, I love fighting games. We have Evo coming up, guys. Evo 2023, August 4th through the 6th. And today, fresh off the Twitter press, we find out that Capcom said Rashid will be available and legal to play in Street Fighter 6 for Evo 2023. So that means he's going to be releasing within a week of, I'd say a week, maybe 2 weeks, hopefully within 2 weeks before Evo comes out. So that way people could get familiar with it. Because if they're going to let Rashid rock, if they're going to let him roll, hopefully he's out enough time that people get a grasp to know, like, okay, there's no game breaking bugs, because that would suck. I think they recently had to fix a certain what was it? I think if you use like the modern control with the assist, you get like an auto option select to get out of grabs. I had to look it up, but they had to like fix that real quick. They had to go in there and fix that. I believe they fixed it. So yeah, it would be unfortunate if they bring in Rashid too close to Evo and then they realize there's a bug and it kind of like ruins the experience. Hopefully it'll be at least even 2 weeks is still kind of fresh, right? But at least with 2 weeks, maybe, that's just more time that the pros are going to grind out some stuff and hopefully find something, if there's something wrong with Rashid. But yeah, Rashid will be coming out, and and originally I thought he wasn't gonna come out till September. I thought that we were gonna milk the release date because it's gonna be Rashid, Ed, Aki, and then Akuma, and I think Akuma, aka Goki, Japanese name. I think he'll be being released in spring of 2024. So starting with late July all the way to spring 2024, we're gonna get those first 4 characters coming out. But Rashid, I think he's gonna be a menace in this game. I think he's gonna be stupid good. I think people who played Rashid in Street Fighter 5, I think he's gonna fit well in this game. Very mobile, Street Fighter 6 is still a very volatile game. And then when you put him in the corner, and at least for me, my experience is playing in Platinum, which I feel they give Platinum out way too easy. But I digress. That's neither here nor there. But I noticed that in that rank, a lot of stuff in the corner is they like to either gonna wake up with a button, either wake up with a grab, or do a neutral jump. And then you kind of have to like figure out how to get around that stuff like that. I mean, of course, that's at the Platinum level, which is still scrubby. It's nothing to like. It's nothing to, there's still a lot to learn in the game. If you're in Platinum. But I think Rashid's gonna be. In my prediction, he's gonna be a freaking powerhouse. And honestly, Rashid was never in a bad spot in Street Fighter. He's always been. He's always him and Bison have always been in a spot where you're like, how come this guy hasn't get nerfed yet? Or like, how is he dodging all this stuff? I mean, and they did get little nerfs here and there, but nothing so much where it like made him like put him in a bad spot. Rashid and Bison were always in a good spot. Of course, we don't know what Bison's gonna happen. I think he's officially dead. You didn't hear that from me, guys. But I think Rashid was never in a bad spot in 5, and I think in 6 he's gonna continue to shine, and I think he's gonna fit very well with the way with the drive system. So keep your eyes out for that. Also, Rashid trailer is out. Dude, this man has no right being this handsome. 100%. Like Street Fighter 5 is whatever, but in Street Fighter 6 though, like, bro, you want to tone it down? You want to tone it down just a little bit, please? Save some for the rest of us. But his trailer came out. He looked pretty cool. You saw some of his abilities, some new, some returning. So we'll see what he's about. Um, my only irk, my only irk right now with Capcom, and look, guys, look, I love Capcom. That's one of the companies that is very seminal in my, in the taste that I have for video games. Capcom, Konami, Square. What else? Oh, I can't think of them, but there's a lot of them there, right? I love Capcom, but that doesn't mean I'm going to give them a pass, right? And right now, and speaking of pass, it's their character pass. I find it a little irking that the only way you could get these characters is through fight coins. And fight coins can only be purchased with real money. You can't grind it. It's like, oof, man, I really, I really, and this conversation is so nuanced. It's so nuanced. I know, guys. Like, and I know 4.99 for a character isn't like you're breaking the bank. It's not. It's not. But it's just it starts with that, right? It starts with little things, and then it starts adding up and starts adding up and starts adding up. But the thing is, it's like there's just no way for you to earn this character. And I talked to some of my online friends who asked me, they're like, Rick, I'm interested in getting Street Fighter 6. Can I get these characters? Or are they behind a paywall? And I told them, I think they're behind a paywall. And they said, okay, well then I'm not interested in the game. And I totally agree. I totally understand that point of view, because you are paying $60 for a game already, and then you want to pay for more characters. I mean, look, if they could put it in a way where you can like train with these characters, you maybe not take them onto online or offline, but you could use them for like training mode, so you could get a feel for these characters, or maybe have them open for, I don't know, a week or something, so someone could get the feel. I will feel a lot more better about that, because at least the person, and especially since how they're trying to like, they kind of really want make it a very inclusive. They want to really bring in that casual crowd. I mean, you've seen it with the whole modern controls, right? They really want to bring people in. I think that's a good way to go about it too, because maybe someone who isn't a hardcore fan of Street Fighter or fighting games, and then, maybe them having access to modern controls is a good way for them to get in there, be familiar with the game, using different button layouts to get more comfortable with the game. I think that also should apply with characters, right? Let them get a chance to try. Maybe they do like Rushdown. Maybe they do like zoning. Maybe they do like grapplers. But if you don't give them a chance to try it out, I just feel it's a missed opportunity. And I think, yeah, yes, Capcom is a business. They got to make money. But with any company, man, you can't crap on your fan base, man. They're the ones who put you there. They're the ones who put you there in that position, and you start just neglecting them and treating them like just wallets. What's going to happen, man? Eventually, they're going to get tired of it, and I'm one of them. I'm choosing not to purchase anything until I get a good feel for it. I don't want to blindly just give them my money. As much as I enjoy Capcom and Street Fighter, I want to see what they got to offer, and I was very hesitant to pick up, the Monster Hunter DLC. It wasn't until I did some real good, lots of research and thinking about it, where then I finally decided to pull the trigger. And they do have some good content, and I'm not saying that these characters are going to be garbage right out the gate, no, I'm not saying that. But the thing is, the, you gotta, the trust runs both ways, right? Like, if you want me to trust you, you gotta like at least give me something, man. You know, $60 game. These games become become expensive, especially when you have Diablo that came out in the same month, Final Fantasy that came in the same month. You have all these other titles. I mean, we're barely through halfway of this year, and we still have a lot of things to talk about, which we'll get onto that point, guys. But yeah, I just find it unfortunate that you have to buy. The only way you get these characters is by actually paying money. Although, Although to Capcom, I will say, at least when you buy the coins, they come out to an equal amount to how much the character is. It's not like scummy ass freaking Activision Blizzard where if you want to buy a certain type of armor, they don't give you the exact same amount of coins or resources to buy. You either have to buy a little bit more extra so you have left over, and then, well, I can't let this go to waste. I gotta keep buying until I get an even amount. You know what I'm talking about? So at least they they price them approximately to what they're selling. So at least that, right? I'm not doing these scummy Activision Blizzard stuff. And you guys know me. By now, Activision Blizzard, I'm just no thank you. I'm done. Whether it's Overwatch or Call of Duty or Diablo, at this point, nah, I'm good, guys. It's gonna take a lot for me to like consider playing their stuff again. Maybe if they ever drop that stupid ESG stuff, right? What's ESG? Go look it up. What else, guys? And as for Evo, as I was saying about Evo, it turns out uh, the guys at Evo have tweeted out that Street Fighter 6, and mind you, registration for Evo has not closed yet. I think it closes on Sunday. So I'm recording this podcast on the 7th of July. So I think on the 9th, on Sunday, is when they close registration. But as of right now, Evo has tweeted out that Street Fighter 6 has over 5,000 entrants. Bro, they're gonna have to do like 10 pools. You're gonna have to do like 10 pools just so you can like break it, like get to like top 160. Like I don't know how they're gonna do it. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be nuts. This is gonna be huge. It's gonna be a lot of Street Fighter. Which, look, if you're a fan, if you like watching it, that's great. I can't wait because honestly, last year watching Evo online, I didn't even know when it was going on. I didn't even know who was playing. It was just you heard some commentary. Now we're going on break, and then some matches are going off. And like with so many players going on, there's gonna be some missed. There's gonna be some missed matches that are gonna be on stream. Understandable. That's just it's just nature of the beast. There's just too many people, right? I just can't wait. It's gonna be fun. Although I will tell you guys, I didn't watch Red Bull Kumite. I think it happened last Sunday, but I was talking to one of my boys, and they're like, "Yeah, dude, watching first to five is a lot. It's a lot." And I understand. Yeah, first to five is who gets 5 wins first, and that means someone could get 5 wins right out the gate, or it could go down to 4-4, and you gotta wait, till the actual, ninth match to happen to who gets the fifth win. So it could be time consuming. And again, I like Street Fighter, but after a while, it's like, bro, I gotta go like I gotta cook dinner or something. So yeah, Street Fighter 6 is crazy amount of numbers. I think they already broke like because I think Street Fighter 5 had like a lot of entrants when it debuted, and I think Street Fighter 6 has broken that. So if you like Street Fighter, and I think Guilty Gear, they haven't released the numbers yet for Guilty Gear, but I think Guilty Gear, they said, is in the second spot for the most entrants. So Street Fighter and Guilty Gear are in a really good spot. Which, you know what, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I low key miss Guilty Gear. To me, it was gonna be that fighting game that just holds me over until Street Fighter 6 came out. And Street Fighter 6 is fun. I do like it. But man, I do miss some Guilty Gear, man. I'm not gonna lie. I miss jumping around, playing with Leo, going to Unga Bunga, just hitting buttons and smashing the crap out of them. So I'm gonna try to go back and play some more Guilty Gear. I promise, guys. I promise. Speaking of playing, I'm sure you guys know I've been using a leverless control. Let me grab it for you guys. So if you guys are listening, watching if you guys are watching the video, guys, make sure you go to YouTube. If you're just listening on your podcast platform of your choice, make sure you go to YouTube and you can actually watch the video if you want. But I've been using this, guys. This is a junk food arcade snack box micro, and it's a little bit too small for what I want it to be, but it's not bad. It's not bad. I would just make it just a little bit bigger. That way I don't have to keep my legs like super close. I have to sit like this uptight. But it is a good controller. Optional. I mean, it's superb. I love it. It's great. If you want to learn on a leverless, this is one to learn. And I have medium, smallish hands, so if it's perfect, I know maybe you might want to look at the Vitrix all button controller or leverless, but that one's a little bit pricey, guys. The Victrix, I think that one runs in at around 400. It comes in at $400. And look, I bought this one. I bought this one when I went to Texas Showdown at, I think it was in April. It was around 260. It's pricey. It's pricey, but but so far I've been playing with it and I've been having a good experience it, and I'm learning more, learning how to execute on it, and I have no issues with it so far. It's been holding up. Uh, you do update the firm. I've updated. I'm going way too fast. Hold on, calm down, Rick. Tranquilo. I did update the firmware once. I've had zero issues with it. Once you know how to upgrade and change the buttons and everything, I mean, this thing's a breeze. It's easy. I just it has USB-C up here up top, and you have a little Velcro strap to anchor it down to one of the little loops, and then I just wrap it around and keep it up here, and that's it. And USB connection. I just plug into the PC, PlayStation, whatever. I have no issues. I've only tried it out on the PlayStation 5 and on my PC. I haven't tried it on Xbox or PlayStation 4, or the Switch, but we'll see. Um, yeah, but if you're gonna want to learn a leverless, right now is a good time to do it. And of course, that tends to be. I don't know if it's gonna be a trend or it's something that's gonna just actually be a change. I know I brought this up last time, but at CEO, out of top eight, and this is just a slice of the amount of players, right? This is just 8 players, albeit the best top eight out of how many X amount of entrants there was for CEO Street Fighter. But look at the eights. We had 4 pad players, 4 leverless players. So I'm not saying arcade stick is phasing out, but times are a changing. Just saying, guys. Um, so with that going on, it originally started. Who had the first leverless, guys? Was it Hitbox? So you had a Hitbox with the first leverless, and then we see Snackbox Micro, and then we see Paradise Arcade with the Empress, which looks really good. Check that one out, guys. That's another one that the size of it might be perfect for what I need. The arcade Paradise Arcade Empress. Look at that one, guys. And then we have Razer throwing their hat in the leverless ring with the Razer Katsuni. It's an all-button controller for the PlayStation 5 and PC, priced at just the base version. I think it's all black, priced at $299, $3. And then they have 2 of them. One that has Chun-Li and another one that has Cammy, and that one's priced at $329. So they're up there in price. They're up there in price, guys. And look, I want to preface all this with that. Just because you play with this does not mean you're gonna go to top 8 in your next locals. Okay, it doesn't mean you're gonna win the tournament. It does not mean you're a pro. It does not mean that at all, guys, because you still have to be proficient with this tool. Now, is there some advantages over pad and arcade stick, depending on what game you're playing? Yes, there are some advantages and some disadvantages, especially with, in my opinion, especially with Street Fighter. If you want to rock the modern controls, you're probably in a better spot playing with pad. Even just playing classic controls, you might still be in a good spot because drive impact is such a big thing right now. And I don't know if it's one of those things where everybody's using it because it's new and the meta hasn't settled yet, or the game just really, and honestly, I think the game just really wants to use the drive impacts a lot. So you have to be ready to react with that quick. So what I've noticed, well, not what I've noticed because I haven't really tried with controller yet, with pad yet. But what I'm thinking is having access to maybe drive impact or drive rush on one of the shoulder buttons just to go, to react with it, because reacting to that is going to make it's going to make your opponent respect you 100%. Having quick access to that is going to be a game changer. So, I mean, Yes, you can have a macro or button shortcut on leverless, but you only have X amount of buttons. You know, when you already have your hands out like this, and we could keep going down a rabbit hole when it comes to leverless, guys, because I'm seeing some new layouts where they're starting to use, and I don't know, I might have mentioned this before, but they're starting to put in L3, R3, and the touchpad as a button on some leverless controllers. So people are thinking of ways to get around. Okay, but anyway, the Katsuni, I mean, it's up there in price. It's up there in price, and the only issue I have with Razer, I do have a Razer Panthera stick, and I enjoy. But it's almost just like any other stick, just like the Mad Cat TES or the Vitrix or the Hori, where you don't like the buttons that come in stock, you could change them. You don't like the switches that's in there, you could change them. You want a different kind of like arcade stick. Instead of a ball top, you want instead of ball, you want a Korean bat top. You could change it, right? Now with this leverless from Razer, the new one, the Katsuni, I believe, I believe that the buttons are proprietary optical switches. So I don't know how easy it is if something gets damaged. Can you use just a regular cherry switch and just pop it in there and replace it? Or do you have to get an actual switch from Razer? So that's something to consider, guys. Just letting y'all know. Um, I would just say do a lot of research. Do a lot of research with when it comes to leverless. You want something, especially if you're playing Street Fighter Five. You want something for PC and PlayStation Five. If you're playing, I'm sorry, if you're playing Street Fighter Six, you want something for the PS5 and PC for sure. Okay, I know Hitbox right now. I was talking to some of my friends who have a Hitbox. I know they had some issues trying to play it on the PlayStation 5s. They had to change the PC. They had to change like the Brooks converter. I don't know, the Brooks converter, change the board. I don't know. They had to do some stuff to get around it, guys. So just letting y'all know. I mean, and it's I mean, for peripheral makers, that's a great way for them to make, to get their hat in the race when it comes. I mean, leverless is the rage right now. So they're getting in there. And like I said, they all have different prices. Like the junk food, the micro that I have at 265, the hitbox itself is at 250. The Vitrix one is at 400. It's just $400. That's a tough sell. That's a tough sell at $400 because like bro, I can like almost get me a PlayStation for that, bro. I can get me a GPU with 12 gigs of VRAM. I mean, sorry about that. It's just 400 is for a controller, little steep. It's a little steep. Just letting, I mean, so just do your research, and if y'all get one and you have tested it out, please let me know how y'all feel about it. Yeah, how's it feel? How's it pilot? How's it handle? Because I'm curious. Like I said, I've been using the snack box. I wish it was just a little bit bigger. I think either the Arcade Empress, Paradise, Paradise Empress, or the Snack Box XL. Maybe I'll try those. I feel like this is just a little bit too small. It's still playable, still usable, just a little, just a hair. And I know, and also, guys, I have seen some STL files. So if you have a 3D printer, you can print out just a little bit extra, and you can just unscrew unscrew the back plate, and put those. And my wife did print me out some, and I have tried them out. But then just find it ironic that I purchased something that small and then I modified to make it bigger. It's like you can modify it, but it's just like what? So I was like, let me try to just learn it as it is. So, um, yeah, so that's a lot. Fighting games, a lot. We're in a good spot. I think they had some stuff from Mortal Kombat 11 revealed the other day. I think it was like Smoke. Somebody else, Cyrex? I'm not too sure. It's Mortal Kombat, guys. Y'all know me. Mortal Kombat is just not my jam. What else we got, guys? Twitch, guys. So, I know I haven't been able to talk about Twitch. I know this kind of stuff with them has been going on, and I'm sure you probably heard this already with other podcasts and stuff. Twitch is not really the only dog in town anymore. Of course, we've seen some other streaming platforms come and go. Mixer, YouTube is still around. They got some stuff. I think the problem with YouTube, I think their interface is a little bit wonky and stuff like that. And of course we have Kick that's been going on, and their kind of gimmick is, well, not their gimmick. Their angle is, we'll give you a 95-5 split, where if you look at that, yes, that's great. That's great. Compared to Twitch, where you're at a 70-30 split, and that's if you're just like affiliate, like I am. I'm just affiliate. And the thing is, I'm not crazy about that split, but at the same time, I don't use Twitch as a major source of income. It's not my full time job. And they had, and there's tons of information on how Twitch is doing it now. But I think if you're at a certain threshold, it changes. It's crazy until a certain time, and then it reverts. It's nuts. But apparently, Kick is a new kid on the block, and some people have gone that way. And there's some pros and cons. I still stay on Twitch just because I'm familiar with the format, with the platform. I have my base there. Not that it's major or anything, but my usuals, my crowd is hanging out there. So I don't want to leave anyway. And Twitch hasn't done anything that's really annoyed me so bad that I have to leave. They've done some stuff where it's kind of like, all right, guys, chill out. Chill out. You ain't the only ones. There's other people rising. And that's a good thing. I'm glad that there is other platforms, emerging to give competition, because when there's competition, as a consumer, as a content creator, as a streamer, that's just better for us, because now we get options. And when they compete, we win. But yeah, Twitch has been coming around. I mean, Kick has been coming around, and I'm sure you guys heard about XQC being signed for like 100 million. Was that right? Um, I'll be upfront with you guys. I don't know who XQC is. I know he streams, but I don't know like what's his gimmick. And honestly, when it comes to Twitch, guys, I don't watch any big people. I really don't. I really don't. I know who Maximilian is, um, only because when I was first getting into like heavy into fighting games, I watched some of his videos and stuff when he would do like stuff with Gutex and Mike Ross. Excellent Adventures. But I don't really watch the streams. I noticed that when I do click into some of the big time streamers, I notice chat is just going so crazy that you can't really interact. And to me, I just don't find that fun or fascinating. I like to watch small streamers and engage with them and interact. When it's that big, I really don't care. It's not for me. Um, that's what I enjoy about Twitch, honestly. But and I know Twitch has to make some stuff to monetize. And some of the things like they're doing is like this thing called, I don't know if you guys have seen it. It's called like hype chat, where you literally just like pay X amount of dollars to have your message get pinned to the top of the chat box. And I get it. Some people will pay, I guess, to advertise some things or something. I, I don't know. I just like I see it. It's like, okay, I guess that's the way to make money. Again, I know Twitch isn't the best. I mean, none of these companies are squeaky clean, right? They all have some sort of like shady background. Maybe not shady, but maybe some like questionable business models. I mean, Twitch belongs to Amazon. Amazon isn't squeaky clean. They kind of treat their employees kind of like, you know. And I think Kick comes with a lot from like cryptocurrency and gambling and stuff. So it's just, you gotta have to like pick and choose who you kind of want to like hang out with and put your stuff on. So just letting you know, guys, that stuff has been going on. And like I said, I see what's going on, but it's nothing enough where like I truly care. I mean, unless they're like doing something like they're like clubbing babies or something, then yeah, maybe we should like remove our stuff for that. And honestly, if I was to go to any other place to do any streaming and stuff, I'd probably just go to YouTube. In all honesty, I mean, I put my podcast up there. After I finish doing some of my streams, I'll put them up on YouTube anyway, so they'll just fit into the ecosystem. And yeah, even YouTube, they're not perfect, but maybe the lesser of all three evils. I'm not too sure, guys. What else we can talk about, guys? Man, guys, there's a lot more I want to talk about, but I really do want to focus. I really do want to focus on trying to keep these episodes around the 45-minute mark. So I think we'll just cut it off there. But I do want to talk about next week for next episode. I do want to talk about the second half of 2023. We had some banger of video games come out, and we also had some stinkers. And I was talking to one of my boys, Lax Grip, and he says, every year there's stinkers out there, and that's true. There's true. Every year there's some stinkers, but in my opinion, and I'm sure you guys have heard me say this already, it feels like 2023 is, when it comes to the gaming space, it's been peaks and valleys. You have some high highs. You got your Tears of the Kingdoms, you got your freaking Hogwarts Legacies, you got your freaking Final Fantasies, and then you got your Redfalls, then you got your freaking Gollum, then you got your, a lot of games just coming out not being properly optimized for PC. So, I feel like it's just up and down. The pendulum has been on both sides. It's been valleys and peaks, up and down. So it's just not a bad year. Not a bad year. A very unique year. Overall, a good year, but not without its faults and misses, because there has been some big misses. But yeah, guys, we'll talk about more about that in the next episode. Um, so we're gonna wrap it up. Like I said, I want to keep it around the 45-minute mark, so I'm already over, but that's fine. A minute's not. You guys ain't gonna get mad for a minute, right? Anyways, guys, that's it for me for tonight. If you guys want to, if you want more content, I'm always streaming. I try to stream at least 3 to 4 times, maybe 5 times a week. Usually in the evenings, Monday through Friday. Sometimes on Saturday and Sundays. If I get the afternoon, the weekend available. Usually I do though. So I try to stream at least during the weekdays in the evening, anywhere between 8:30, 9 o'clock Central, all the way till 11 o'clock ish, 11:30 in the evening. So yeah, you guys ever want to hang out? Twitch.tv/OS underscore R1CK. If you guys want to help out the podcast, tell your friends about it. All the usual stuff, the like, the subscribe, and comment, and tell your friends about it. Because honestly, guys, I don't make a dime from this podcast, and it's fine. I'm not meant to make a dime off of this. It's not for monetary reasons I'm doing this. I'm doing it because I just like running my mouth. I just like talking shit. Okay. But if you guys want to help out, if you want to donate, that would be very much appreciated, because all the funds go right into it, whether covering fees to get the podcast uploaded, or buying equipment, or just, keeping the lights on, or, more, which I prefer. Like, money's cool. Don't feel obligated. Don't ever feel obligated. Word of mouth. Word of mouth will be the best way to help out the channel. It's free. Just tell someone about it, and I would appreciate it. It goes a long way. Trust me, guys. Anyways, guys, I gotta go. I love y'all. I appreciate it. Have a great week. We'll come back next week with another 45-minute podcast, hopefully. Anyways, guys, I love y'all. Peace out. Play some video games. Take care of yourselves. Eat right. Drink lots of water. Take care of yourselves. And I love y'all. Play games. Bye.